back to Truck Sailing. We are Pierre, Lisa, and our furry friend Tiller, sailing around the world in our Outremer 5X catamaran. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. In our last video, we sailed from St. Helena Island in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean to Brazil, docking in the bustling port of Recife. We arrived just in time to experience Brazil's most exhilarating celebration, Carnival. Join us as we see how Carnival touches every aspect of Brazilian life, from music in the shopping malls to dancing in the streets. And that's not all, we're going to take you deep into the Amazon rainforest. So get ready to see the sights, sound, and soul of Brazil. After a long passage, our dog Tiller always senses when we're about to arrive, and she's just as excited about arriving in port as we are. Palm 3, another 5X catamaran, had arrived before we did, and they helped us get settled in the new docks that were being built in Recife. Although the marina was still under construction, it was an ideal location for going to Carnival because it was located just in front of the road that was blocked off to keep cars out of the old town. Carnival goes on for well over a week, starting at 4 p.m. where it's family time and then continuing into the wee hours with lots of music and dancing. We were just there for the last 2 days of Carnival, which was really enough. It was a lot of fun. Along the coast of Brazil, most of the marinas are located down the rivers, and Recife is no exception. It has many rivers and is like the Venice of Brazil. This is a view from a rooftop bar, and again, walking back to the marina, lots of music en route, very enjoyable. Recife is a city filled with music, and just like other parts of the world, there are kids sailing lasers and sailing opties. And a fun fact, lasers were first designed and built in Canada. Ian Bruce, an industrial designer from Montreal, teamed up with Bruce Kirby, a yacht designer. The first prototype laser was launched on Lake St. Louis near the Point Claire Yacht Club, where Pierre and I met. The spirit of Carnival is also evident in the shopping center. We took a trip to the mountain town of Olinda, which is near Recife. From the hill of Olinda, you can see the tall buildings of Recife. And it was evident that even though Carnival was officially finished, it was not yet finished in Olinda. We had a chance to chat with some locals, and this man explained that they like to eat these little critters all fried up as a tasty snack.
So you eat it?
So experiencing Carnival for the first time was really a lot of fun. From the marching bands to the giant puppets to seeing how people were dressed in the street, which could be a little wild. But I needed to take a trip home, especially to see a new member of the family. While I was away, Pierre took a trip up north in Brazil to do some wingboard. Tiller had a chance to play with friends at a doggy sitter. For the return trip, my sister Krista met me at the airport in Panama so that we could take a short trip to the Amazon, while Pierre took the boat to Fernando de Noronha with the help of Bernard, one of the crew from PUM 3. Manaus is the gateway city to the Amazon and is located 1,000 miles upstream from the sea. Our trip to the Amazon starts in Manaus, a sprawling city of over 2 million people. In the 1800s, it was a boomtown because of the rubber industry. It was the richest city in Brazil, and it boasts a beautiful opera house dating from the time of the rubber barons. In the early 20th century, the rubber industry crashed. This was all due to a theft. An Englishman stole 60,000 rubber seeds and took them to Kew Gardens in London. The British used the germinated seeds to start rubber plantations in Asia, which ended the rubber boom in the Amazon. All of the Asian rubber grown today originates from those stolen seeds. Today, Manaus doesn't grow any rubber and specializes in factories for motors and in the tourist industry. Abandoned buildings, the evidence of the former days of wealth. Manaus is near the meeting of the waters, which is where the dark-colored Rio Negro and the sandy-colored Rio Solimões converge, with the two waters following along side by side without mixing for several miles. Here the river is really wide and deep, and ocean-going ships travel all the way from the coast 1,000 miles up the river to Manaus. People in the Amazon eat mainly fish, and this is evident when you go to visit the fresh market in Manaus. I was told there are over 3,000 species of fish in the Amazon, including 25 species of piranhas. And the fresh market in Manaus has an amazing display of these large river fish. If you order ribs in a restaurant, be prepared to have a dish of fish ribs. Very delicious. Our Amazon trip was at the beginning of the wet season when the river begins to rise. Typically, the waters will rise 20 meters or 60 feet, and the water levels are recorded every year on a wall in the port of Manaus. After a day in Manaus sightseeing and relaxing, after our long flight from the United States, we headed to the Ana Vilhanas Lodge, which is upstream of Manaus on the River Negro. The lodge is adjacent to a national park, and it sits in an area of the river with many, many islands. I'd say 1,000 islands, most of them flooded during the rainy season. The lodge is perched on the high ground beside the river, and they also mark the water levels that occur each year. This part of the river is about 25 kilometers wide, and the land you see in front of the lodge is an island. The lodge offers various nature excursions, and the trip to the nearby islands was especially informative about the cycle of flooding in the Amazon that occurs every year. The various species of trees are uniquely adapted to withstand 6 months of the year, partly submerged.
Stroke.
This forest around Rio Negro region is the biggest flooded forest in the world. And most of the year it's flooded. So this organic matter decomposes in the water and release the carbon to the water. That's why it gets black. So the black of the Black River, the Rio Negro, is the carbon from the organic matter. Most of the Amazon soil will have this carpet made out of roots. Look, and it's really, really a carpet. Very important to avoid erosion. But this is the moment where many different trees connect through this carpet of roots. So in here, in this small part of this carpet, we probably have roots from many, many different trees that are exchanging information, protection, vitamins, water, electric signals. This is a great mystery for us, how it works, because there's not a science over it. So we still have 4 to 5 up to 6 meters more until June. So they stop growing to save energy and they wait for the water to decrease again.
We learned about natural medicines in the Amazons, such as the properties of these vines.
Smells like passion fruit.
They say they make tea with it. It's anti-stress, anti-inflammatory. And those are these vines.
So this is the period of the year where there's a combination of flooding and production of fruits, because the water and the fish are the greatest dispersers of fruits in these lowland areas. And now you see that the water is getting inside the island. I hope it doesn't disturb our walk this morning. Are you ready to get wet?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So we went on a dolphin trip. We
Saw no dolphins.
Saw no dolphins, but every time we come here and there's not a lot of people around, we see dolphins.
That's right. And there's
Just
some
saw some.
right out there.
But they're a little too far to get on the camera, but
But something's right there. What's that?
we're enjoying seeing them.
On our night excursion, we saw various critters, including these owls and a type of bird that comes out at night to feed on insects.
Great Putu Niger.
There's one.
Those are tarantulas. And this species is known as the pink fingers tarantulas. E ela tem vários padrões de cor, né, essa jiboia. They have a yellow dot.
The Highland trip was interesting too, but the mosquitoes were ferocious. Luckily, we had lots of mosquito repellent, and we had applied it before the trip. These are considered highlands because they're above the floodwater level, and so the plants are a little bit different on this part of the Amazon. Even the tarantulas are a different species than those in the lowlands.
Oh, I see it now.
Wow. I think it's gorgeous. Look at that.
That's one big ant tree.
Indigenous people would let the ants crawl on their skin, then crush them as a natural mosquito repellent.
Have a picture of your crown. Those are some spines, eh?
Knowing that the mosquitoes could be ferocious in the highlands, we were well prepared for our archery competition and had leg protectors in case of snakes, but we didn't see any. And by the way, the Canadians won. Actually, the instructors won, but they only got serious when they saw that there was some real competition. We must have some muscle memory from all those years ago at camp when we shot some bows and arrows. We went to the riverfront bar to enjoy our free caipirinhas.
Thank you.
Our nature excursions always involved going by boat, and there were always interesting things to see, such as these monkeys.
Guys, look here. Here, look, see. Look here. Look, it has a baby on the back. Look at that.
One of our excursions was to a local community where we learned about their gardens, what they grew to eat for food, and how they made manioc flour.
So here we are on their garden. They mix native plants with exotic plants. Which kind of exotic plants? Mango, that comes from Middle East. Coconut, that comes from Asia. A banana, that comes from Southeast Asia, are mixed with native fruits. That is the star fruit, there is cupuaçu, there is the cacao, there are acai, there are native fruits.
They had a display of ancient artifacts that they had found on their land or in the waters. And then we visited their gift shop, which were items all made locally by the community. The colors in this handmade bowl are all derived from the different types of native woods that are found in the Amazon forest. We brought some school supplies for the children, which we gave to the teacher who teaches in this one-room schoolhouse.
Okay, we're just having lunch, and there's a boa there. I think it's a boa that has a lizard. I can't really see it right now. It's not just the legs, it's the whole body. It's the whole body that's going down now, Krista. Oh, I have it on manual focus. It's the tail that's going in now.
Wow, that was some amazing lunchtime entertainment going on just below our table. On our last morning, we took a trip up the Amazon before sunrise so we could watch the sunrise over the water. A very special thank you to the absolutely fabulous guides that we had, Ramon and Kenrick. We contribute to a not-for-profit foundation, the Alliance to Cure, which is trying to help patients that have cerebral cavernous malformation. To find out more about it, please visit our website, and if you'd like to contribute also, you can find the link on our website or below. And now, more archery.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Hold it.
You didn't teach us that technique.
Era na anaconda.
Anaconda?
He's worried.
100.
He's worried now. He's worried. So he's doing one arrow.
It